All right, so we are recording. And so good morning, everybody. We are going to go over the affirmative fair housing marketing process, especially if you are a tax credit property. There's a specific method that you need to use for TDHCA. I know we've had some issues also with people with you guys not being able to have the maps and stuff pull up like you're supposed to. So I'm going to also show you an alternative that you can do to help with that. And hopefully that helps alleviate any issues. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen. So can you guys see the desktop? I see my mouse moving around. I'm going to pull up another screen here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so we have talked several times. I know some of you have attended this webinar before. So there's a difference in marketing when we just go out and pass flyers out in our town because we're trying to get people to come live at our property. And then there's a difference when we affirmatively market. And when we are affirmatively marketing, we are reaching out to those people, those demographic groups who are the least likely to apply to live in our apartment. And so TDHCA has come up with a great tool that kind of hones in on those areas where those demographics may be. I will tell you that for rural development and TDHCA, they are trying to do the same thing with these plans. They just come about which demographics you get differently. Can be a little confusing, especially when you look at your tax credit one, you're like, hey, I just have to market to persons with disabilities. And then you look at RD and you have to market to 4 different demographics. That's just the difference in what they're doing. So so it can be a little frustrating, but I will tell you that you can use your affirmative marketing for TDHCA. You can most always apply that stuff to RD. So if you're a tax credit property, I would do your tax credit stuff first and then try to insert it into your rural development stuff. So I'm sure you guys have all seen this page here, and you have hopefully tried to get on here and look at stuff. So Letty, I'm going to use your property as an example just because maybe we can see some different things. And just like I told Letty before, you cannot use the same business across a whole bunch of different demographics if you have to do like 3 or 4. They need to be as varied as possible, so you need to use different ones. So you're going to come to this website, which you've all seen, and you're going to put in your property. You can type it in, or you can just hit T and scroll down and see what you come up with. So, and hopefully you're looking at your pages that I sent you, but I wanted you guys to double check because information on here changes and numbers can change and things like that. So if you're a tax credit property, you're going to come to this page. What we're running into is that if you have Windows 7 as your operating system on your computer, and you know that it's Windows 7, if your screen and your start menu and stuff kind of look like this, this kind of works, but in some cases it's not working. So I'm going to show you another way that you can find your information that you need. So, all right. So here we go. We have Timber Creek Village Apartments, and this is, I believe, yeah, well, I know that this is our property, and not an MSA. So looking at this property, we can see that Letty would have to market to persons with disabilities, Black or African Americans, and Hispanics. And so you have some numbers over here, some census tract numbers, and then you can see this map census tract. Okay, I've told several people actually, if you want to use this tool and be able to use this, you need to use it in Internet Explorer. That's the web browser, Internet Explorer. It's the E with the circle around it. In some cases, some of you are not able to do that, I think because of Windows 10, but there's a workaround for that, and that's okay. We have to adjust, and we're trying to work with TDHCA to get them to kind of, hey, look, it's not working across different systems like it should, and so it makes it kind of hard for you guys to get the information that you need. So if you have it and it's working, you'll click on this map census tracts, and it's going to pull up a map that has some red areas highlighted on it. So basically what these areas mean is that according to census data, that these demographic groups are located in here in these little areas, and that's where the highest concentration of those specific demographics live. So so Letty, for example, you need to market to persons with disabilities are saying that the highest concentration of people who are disabled live in this area here. So you can kind of scroll in, and I've told you, I think it's, let me see something. Okay, so you can see right here, this is going to be two different areas actually. So it's going to be separated probably by this highway right here, and you can kind of see the little bit, the border here. You can market to anybody who's inside of any business that is inside of this area. The first thing you need to do is go to the ones that you may have used before. If you have a business or a company or contact that markets specifically to that demographic, so say in some cases you have, the Department of Aging and Disability, you can market to that business if it's not in this red area, but it has to be specific to the demographic. If that's not the case, and you say you don't have anybody, then you can market to any business that is located inside of this red area. So you could come in here and be like, oh, Department of Family and Protective Services. Get their information. You can market to them. Let's see. This kidney care in Jacksonville, you can market that as well. Let's see can you pull my property up and try to copy the census tract number? You want to paste it? Yes, I will do that, and I bet I know what happened with that. So this is one way, but a lot of you guys are saying that the maps are not working, and if that's the case, then you need to write me a note when you submit all your stuff and ask me to print your maps. But you have to make a valiant attempt to do it first, please, because you need to know how to do this. So going back to that, if you're doing this, you're going to hit Control P and you're going to print this page here, because I need to have a copy of this page that has to be submitted with your marketing plan. So you'll print this page. So just pretend that we're printing here. And if you can pull up the maps, then you're going to click here on this map census data, kind of scroll in a little bit where you can make sure you can see all of the areas together. You're going to print this page with the map on top of it. And then you'll click on each red area and print those as well. So in the case of Letty, she would have to print four maps. A map of everyone together, and then a map with each area highlighted. Okay, Letty, do you have any questions about yours? You said you were kind of having some issue finding some places. You can type them in. So. And then let me just go to, I'm going to use Pine Run as an example, JR. I will get to your question. There are some cases where you may go to put this information in, and you go to find areas, and you go to look at your map, and you start looking around. Because I know that this is like this for Lynn. When you scroll in, and you're like, there's nothing. There are no businesses. I don't even see anything popping up in this area that I could potentially use to find. Like, are you guys seeing any businesses in here? Because I'm not. Okay, Walker's Blueberry. That's probably it. So she's marketing to Alaskan Native and what is it? American Indian or Alaskan Natives. Okay, so there's not really anything in here. So if you have an issue like that, okay, I'll get to that in a second, Letty, on yours. For RD, you need to mark it to white with white non-Hispanic, I believe. I'll have to look at your list to double check that. Let me do that real fast because I have it sitting right here. Yes, if some of you on your RD, you have to mark it to white non-Hispanic. That's just how we have to mark it. How we have to mark it for your RD plan. Make sure that you mark it not separate, white non-Hispanic. Lenny, let me see. Yep, you have to do white, non-Hispanic. So, okay. All right, so we're talking about Pine Run and how I was telling you guys there's like no businesses in here. So what you can do is you can go over here. If your property is not in an MSA, which is just like a metropolitan area where you can go and market to, so Lynn can do. I know she did the Sherman Denison MSA, and you tell it to go. If you scroll up, it'll pull up another area, and these are other areas where you can find places to market to if what you have here at the top in your census tract versus county is not working. So if you were to click on map the census tract here, it would give you, and you would have to print this area as well and print the page again with that census data there. If you were to click here, and you would print this page also, and you can see, okay, there are persons with disabilities and American Indian and Alaskan Natives, and there's a lot of other places that you can market to inside of here. You start looking. So that just kind of opens up some other areas for you if you're having a hard time finding places to market to inside of your area. Any questions on that so far, guys? Okay, Lenny, what kind of big city do you have close to you? Texarkana close, or Waco, or... Because that might also help you as well, trying to find places. But it looks like the map stuff that you have in here, you might have some good areas to look in. Let me look. Some Black or African American. We have a lot of places here. Healthcare and Rehab Center, First Baptist Church of Rusk. You can market there. There's a Valero, a Whataburger, Taco Bell. You've got a lot of areas inside of here that you can market to for Black or African American. And then let's go up. And I'm more than willing to go through like this for each of you if you need that help. It's not a problem to do that. Okay, it looks like here for this demographic group for Hispanic, you can market to Walmart, Texas Animal Shelter, Super Gallo Mercado. You can't do Wingstop because that's on the other side of the road, so that's in a different group. Cardinal Health, Cornerstone Baptist Church, Best Western Executive Inn. Lenny, you've got a lot of places that you can market to. And then, of course, over here you've got persons with disabilities. So, looks like you've got the high school, ranch home. You can't do the funeral home. It's on the other side of the border area. Okay, so there's plenty of places there that you can use. All right, so what we can do, all right, JR, what did you want me to do? Which group? Does it matter? I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the other part of what you can do when you are, if your map isn't working where you can pull it up, this is the other alternative of what you can do. You can go to policymap.org, and this is just a mapping tool that you can use, and you want to use the open map. We are not paying for it. And so JR, I'm just going to pick persons with disabilities. So you're going to, what you need to use Policy Map, you need the census tract number. So here's the census tract. I'm going to copy it. And then here at the top where it says location, across the top it says location, data, location, you want to select census tract and paste that number. Okay, so JR and everybody, when you're doing this, you want it to pull up this little thing like this. JR, what may have happened with yours is sometimes there's a space at the end, and if you do that, it will not locate it. So you need to make sure you back up and there's no space after the last number, and it should pull up the area that you're needing to look at. Okay, so this is one thing you can do. Let's see. Okay, all right. And what you can do here, and my suggestion to you guys would be, you kind of only need like the quality of life, economy, education, and health. Okay, so if you haven't used this before, you will just come over here and be like, okay, I want to look for farmers markets. Nope, we don't want to do farmers markets. Hold on a second. We don't want to do that. You don't want your map to turn purple. Although it's easier to see the orange that's going to pop up. No, that's okay. It did that for me a few times, and I was thinking, okay, what have I done wrong? This is stupid. It's not working. But it's totally okay. All right, so you can come in here and you're doing data points. So you want to do like snap retail locations. Let's see, quality of life. Libraries. I like to do libraries because those are good places where people may go and hang out. Libraries. Some places have museums. Education. This is a great one because most places have schools, right? So we want to be able to use those. Schools are a great place to market to. Education. Head Start centers, good thing to use. Okay, health is usually nursing facilities, hospitals. Hospitals is a good one to use. I think those are kind of it as far as ones that we've picked on here before. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do is what the data. Okay, so what this does is this kind of hones in on here's your area. Yep, and it's a good one to use all year. So there's this. So you can kind of zoom in here. And I'm sorry it's purple, it's not supposed to be. But you look at where your edges of where your border area is, where they're saying, okay, you need to look in here. There we go. Okay. And if the area ever goes away, you just come back up here and hit enter. It'll find it for you again. So you see a lot of data points that are outside of this area. You can't use those businesses unless they're specific to the demographic that you're going to be marketing to. Okay, but you can come in here. And so I think this is persons with disabilities, right, JR? So you can kind of click on these little data points and they'll tell you, hey, this is a library and here's an address. And a lot of times they'll have a phone number, and this is where Google becomes your friend. You look in your Google and look up that library, get a phone number because you know you need a phone number, and you know you need to call them and get their name and contact information. So and you're reaching out and building those contacts so that you can market to them. The other thing that you can do, it would be kind of hard on this area just because of how funny shaped it is. You can pull up your map. You can do maps.google.com. Not maps. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can pull up your Google Maps and you can try to match that area with where you're at. So this is Robstown, Texas. And so what you can do is you can kind of, and this is kind of hard to do right now, so I apologize, guys, but you can have your map sitting side by side like this, where, can you guys hear me still? Hope so. Okay, so you can have it next to each other and you can zoom in on your map and kind of see, okay, we're looking at this industrial boulevard down here. So you can see it, here's the industrial boulevard. So you know that you can mark it a little bit kind of down in this area, down to a certain point, but if you can use it and zoom in there to kind of see what other kind of businesses are there if you're not really seeing anything that you can use. And that is the best tip that I can give you as far as finding the best tip I can give you as far as like if you cannot get the map to pull up on in Internet Explorer where you can look at it and zoom in. And like I said, we're trying to work with TDHCA to get that information kind of corrected, or to kind of get it updated so it can work and be an effective tool for you guys to use. Looks like there's outlets at Corpus Christi Bay, JR. There's lots of places for you to use there. But this would be the next best thing, is just kind of comparing the area, zooming in on the streets that it's bordering on to kind of see what is in there, and then using it in conjunction with Google Maps to try to find places. So any questions so far? I know it seems like a lot of stuff that we've covered. Let me zoom back up in here. And you guys just let me know. Any questions? I can walk through doing a plan. Like, if there's someone in here, like, please just walk me through, like, doing mine. Like, help me find places. I'm happy to help you do that. It's not a problem at all. So, because I want you guys to, be able to know how to do these and do them to the best of your ability, and do them so that when I get them, I can be like, man, they did their homework. They did it. This is done. All I have to do is type up a plan, and you're done. So, so then, of course, you guys know that you'll go to, oh, sorry, I have a lot of windows open here. You guys know that you'll go to the marketing folder on our Red Book Online. And you're going to get these 7D and 8, and I apologize, I'm going to have to upload new letters, actually, because they're wrong. So I'm just going to delete those right now and re-upload them. So sorry about that. Yes.
Okay, for what? It broke?
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, I guess somebody is on the property working. All right, so you're going to do the 7D and the 8, and then you're going to pick whatever letter is yours.
Okay.
You're going to open
I got it.
And download it to your computer.
Okay.
And make sure that when you have it, that it'll open in Adobe. If
first and second one. First two white ones.
Like you need it to be. And so you'll open this up, and you'll type in your property name, and the information on the first page is very important. Sorry, guys. So, property name. Oh. Okay, you're not going to use burn. You are going to use your actual property, because this information is going to come back to you. You're going to mail it from your property, and hopefully you guys all know that this is going to fill it in for you automatically.
Yeah. I'll make the worker. I got it. I got to do this webinar.
Okay. Total number of units, 56. Manager, Happy Gilmore. And you want to put the date. And you go down here. Okay, guys, make sure that you have separate sheets for each property, or for each for rural development and for TDHCA. So this one, you would just put in persons with disabilities. Type in all of your information. Make sure no director, no contact, attention to whom it may concern. Please make sure that you're calling these people and reaching out to them, because TDHCA and RD will follow up with that. They want to know that you guys are actually getting out there and actively marketing, and it's something that you're also going to do in 6 months. You're going to go back and check this and see if it's working and if there's anything different that you need to do. Second page, unless you have, I know some of you have like 5, but just make sure you do separate contact sheets for TDHCA and RD. You'll do TDHCA, persons with disabilities. And then you'll type in your information, and after all that's done, it'll automatically fill it for you. So if there was information here, it would be there. I've also found out if some of you have different fax numbers for your property than your phone, that's different from your phone number, let me know. I don't have those letters uploaded, but you can send me that. Let me know, and I'll send you the corrected letter or a different letter so you can have a different fax number. So I think that about covers it. And just make sure that when you send the stuff to me, you send your contact info. You send a copy of your ad. Make sure your ad is 2.5 or 2x5 or 3.5x5. Make sure to send me the tear sheet. I also have to have it where it has the date on it, so we prove that when it ran. So I need the tear sheet, your fair housing certificates for you and everyone on your property, your 7D and your 8, where everybody on the property has signed it, and those are just saying that, hey, we're not going to discriminate, we're not going to. This is the policy of our company for where, as far as all that is concerned. And I think that's all in the packet. So if you're not sure, then send that to me. Let me see. How long do you have to do this? I need this by November 5th because we have to do this many by. We have to. Everybody's has to be redone for the 3-year period. So, try to do the best that you can. If you need a little bit longer than that, then let me know or call me, and we can talk about that. So, any questions, guys? Now's the time to ask questions. So. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I think that'll do it. And if there's anything specific you need help with, then let me know, and I'm here to help you and help you get this done so we can do it. Okay? And just make sure, guys, also that when you yes, JR, you can help Lenny. Just make sure that when you are doing this, that you if you get stuck, if you get to a point and you get stuck, call me before you move on because you don't want to have to go back and redo something when it could be, oh, hey, we just need to fix blah, 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 or you need to do this instead. So, but yeah, all right. That's all. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.